I'm Kyle Gorman with the Employer Blueprint, and let's talk about how to manage your time effectively. This may be one of the most common questions that I get. How do I manage my time? Well, let's shift our mindset just a little bit. There's 24 hours in a day, and there's only so much we can do in those 24 hours. But we do have priorities that we need to focus on. So let's think about managing our priorities within the time that we have. And if you can start thinking about how you're going to manage your priorities instead of managing the time, then you don't sit through the end of the day and say, wait a second, I know I was really busy, but I didn't get anything done. So let's shift our focus as we talk through this today of how we're going to manage our priorities within the time that we have. So in order to manage these priorities, you need to understand exactly what your priorities are. And you should set up these priorities both daily and weekly and maybe even monthly and annually. But especially when we hear people talk about time management, it's usually on a day-to-day basis. So as you're planning your day ahead, whether it be the night before or that morning, make sure that you're thinking about your true priorities for the day. One of the things that I often recommend and that I do myself, I typically go through the night before or first thing in the morning and I look at what do I need to get done today and what are my 2 or 3 things that will absolutely get done. If nothing else gets accomplished today because I get torn in other meetings and tasks and projects and fires that I'm dealing with, what are the things that absolutely will get done before my day finishes up? And by doing that, now I've set up some daily priorities, and at the end of the day, I know something got accomplished that was incredibly important to me. The next thing you want to do is understand what must get done compared to what you would like to get done. And this is a big difference because oftentimes as we set up our day, as we establish our day, we start thinking about all the things we would like to get done, but those aren't necessarily the key top priorities that must get done. So whenever you're setting this up and you're saying, from 8 to 9 o'clock in the morning, this is what I'm going to work on, be sure that the first priorities of the day are the ones that must get completed, because if not, then you could get to lunchtime and all of a sudden you've been busy and you've worked on some things that you wanted to get done, but that weren't really the key priorities that needed to be done. Then how all of this managing of priorities is going to relate back to managing time is you need to set up time to meet these priorities. So as you look at your calendar through the day, you may say from 8 to 10, these are the priorities that I'm going to focus on. Now I understand I'm going to get other emails, I'm going to get phone calls, I'm going to get other things that I'm taking care of through the course of the day, but from 8 to 10, these are the main 3 priorities that I want to get accomplished, that I want to try to focus on. Every free minute I get, this is the priority that I'm going back to. So that's how we're going to manage our time throughout the course of the day, is understanding what our top priorities are, managing those priorities, and then plugging them into our day so that when the day gets done, we know there were certain things that were absolutely critical that were completed, and we did in fact complete them. So time management, I know, can be difficult for almost everyone, and I hear this a lot, especially as schedules get busier and busier. But these are some key things to think about as you are trying to learn how to better manage your time. Start thinking about how you're going to manage your priorities within the time that you have. I'm Kyle Gorman with the Employer Blueprint. For more great information, subscribe to the YouTube channel.